Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our year-end special edition about 36 stratagem. We only have 3 left. Okay, out of 36, we have the last 3 to go. There is no sequence of importance. Okay, so everyone could be helpful to you in thinking about how you approach things, even if it's a wartime wisdom. Probably it's still applicable in certain ways. So yesterday we talked about strategy of trying to disorient your enemy by making sound in the east, but instead you actually attacking the west. So they mislocate their resources. And today we talk about another way of confuse your enemy and let them not really let them mislocate their resources, but they already place their resources in a certain way, and you just kind of approach it to attack their weak point instead. Okay, so here we go. 围魏救赵. So Wei and Zhao are 2 wartime regimes. So they most likely under the leader's family name. I mean, Chinese have a heavy syndrome, not syndrome, complex toward attributing their achievement to their family, to their ancestor, to their name holder. So they're proud bloodline of their family name, right? So whoever get into power happen to be in that bloodline would most likely to use their family name to name their regime. Okay. Probably we can just say like Mao's China, something like that. We know Mao, like he is the guy. So Wei and Zhao are both 2 family names. And here I don't really need to translate them. They are the same as their pronunciation. So I just use A and B to distinguish their 2 different regimes or locations. So you surround A in order to save B. How that works, I'll explain later. Let's unpack individual characters. So let's go with Wei and Zhao first. Wei come from this, we a few episodes ago look at this ghost figure, which is kind of a spoke, right? We just talk about the wheel structure. So it's an oval shape with a horizontal line, vertical line, and it has to touch to the very end of it. But the difference is on top of this, it's intentionally this vertical line going through. So you know, we're not talking about the wheel, it's something else. So this actually signifies non-human face, I guess, because occasionally we have human head. We don't really express human head like that, but it's a non-human head, it's big-headed being. And then here it almost looks like the dog body and a tiger tail, something animalistic, but with a sort of intelligence, non-human being. So that's our ghost figure. And then we have the mountain sign, 3 spikes, enough to show it's a range of mountain. So that's mountain, and we have a ghostly mountain. What does that mean? It means the mountain top is not flat, it's very jagged, like not even. It's pretty stony and a weird shape with cliffs and all that. It's a complicated landscape. So I guess this goes because it's hard to relate to, right? It's not in the same world as us, and it's probably hard to understand. So we use that to describe a mountain. It's like it's a complicated mountain. Probably a little bit ghostly, a little bit scary, because we tend to be afraid of things we don't understand. Okay, so that's Wei. The right side, it's the sound maker, which means this jagged mountain range. And the left side, we have this in some context. It means a ripe crop. So this is our kind of generic plant or tree symbol. We have upward arch and downward arch, right? With a vertical line going. And in this case, we have vertical line going and with a bending top. This bending top means something weighs it down. What is weighs it down? It's the fruit, whatever fruit or crop, the grains, wheat, whatever, weighing down. The stalk probably mostly supportive of the plant in its normal weight, but when it's full of grains on top of it, it's going to bend. Or probably imagine corns, like when corns are ripening, the leaves kind of like that. I don't exactly know. Okay, so it's something related to plant. But this plant symbol sometimes used to signify a person as well. It's kind of bended head. Bended head as a body language probably signifies somebody who is not happy about a situation, that has a hanging low, something like that. Okay, the bottom is a woman figure. So with hand kind of a cross in front, and then it has a little bit of head. So that's language creators capturing of this gender feature. So somebody who is submissive. So the whole left side means somebody who's not that happy, somebody who is submissive. Well, probably can see a sort of connection over there. And this plus this zigzag mountain, irregular, complicated looking mountain, together is this Wei family name. Okay. And Zhao, we have this walking, this toe thing, not toe. Okay. These cactus looking thing are the 3 toes. And this is the arch of the toe. I mean, the foot. So the whole thing is abstraction of the foot, human foot. And then we have this, you see, kind of looking similar, right? But it's one thing is pointing toward the other direction. And also it's not kind of have that inflection point of a sharp corner pointing out. This is kind of a curviest over there. So this depicts somebody who's walking fast, kind of in a big stride. And when you're walking fast, your head tend to going toward the direction you're speeding toward, right? So that depicts a fast walking person with the foot paired together means fast walking, right? And the right side means, okay, this is our small symbol. We talked about that before. So this is a unit before, and we have a separator in the middle, split it into half. So this is a half of the original size on each side. So that means the splitting, there's a halving of things. This means relative to its original, it's a smaller. So that's our small symbol. And the bottom is our meat. It's almost like omega sign with 2 horizontal, kind of a streak of the meat. So that's a depicting of a meat. Small meat means somebody small boned, small, kind of a petite, somebody who's skinny, something like that. And then we have this walking, skinny walking. You can imagine if somebody who is skinny, that means not skinny, but small framed. Probably that means that person have to, in order to walk fast, have to walk frequently, right, to catch up. So that's kind of fast walking. So the whole thing is fast walking. And this is simply a family name. It's hard to explain, complicated concepts together. So Wei and Zhao are 2 warring regimes, probably 2,000 years ago. A lot of 36 stratagem based on the stories of what happened during that time. There are at least 7 powers existing on the same land, relatively unobstructed land. So one can take over the other. So all kinds of strategies developed back then to see how you can win the war. And then Wei, surround come from, okay, logically, there will be this encasing frame, right? This encasing is not like a mouse symbol. It's just a mouse placed in the middle of the frame. But this is like to the very border, the very end of the frame is perimeters. It's got perimeters of the frame. So that means already this is an enclosed space. And then inside we have, somebody say this is a food symbol. So this is food, another food is abstraction. So we have this food, and this is another, I guess, perspective of the food. And you can see probably this is the ankle, and these are, I mean, this is the arch, and these are the pointing of the toes direction. And probably it's on a sort of shoe. Okay, a lot of Chinese traditions are preserved in Japanese culture. So a lot of things you see in Japan probably got imported from China about 1,000 years ago in Tang Dynasty. And you see they still wear today in probably some ceremonies of this wooden shoe, kind of making the clicking sound when they walk. I'm kind of unbalanced, but they have to learn to walk in those shoes. It could be depicting a vision of the food in a certain kind of wooden frame shoe, and this could be some bottom of the shoe. But this two food, you notice, is mirror image, like a flipped in this way, horizontal flipping. And that means the food actually is walking in different directions. And different toe pointing to different directions, excuse me, that is a sign of something in disharmony or disagreement. So extended to against somebody's will. We call it a wei. So it's against will. Against will, encaged, that's surround. Very accurate definition. Okay, and then safe, we have 3-finger hand symbol, holding something, and this something I have over time met it so many times. It totally, I think, depends on the context. It's not necessarily to mean the original meaning of this vertical line plus a horizontal line. This is our tool fortune teller use at the time to tell forecast what's going to happen. I mean, I don't imagine there's many professional forecasters back then. So this probably, I mean, chances are not that kind of tool. So this is some kind of device hold in hand to accomplish something, right? And then left side is our fluffy. So when you see this sign, that means fur or something related to hair. We see that in a sheep symbol, 3 rows of horizontal hair. Here, just 2 rows of horizontal line. I'm not exactly sure of that. That looks like another 3-finger hand symbol. And hair growing on here. Kind of weird, right? But it means fur. I guess the fur means ancient times, we don't really have like a down jacket or a cotton field. Probably this happened before, the language happened before the agriculture of cultivating cotton business, or like even down, right? Feelers to make you warm. So the warm keeping device back then probably wear animal skins that got furs on it. So this probably means a human hand, but it got furs over it. It's already wearing animal skin. So this is a desirable thing. As you can imagine that, okay, crops are like a year round and it's relatively human controllable. But to have fur, you have to have hunter and have to have the right skill to skin it, to keep the fur, right? So fur business, back then was big, and because we don't back then had alternative technology to keep warm, so furs were much desired item to stay warm. Basically, it's a survival necessity, right? To keep alive in cold weathers. So this fur wearing thing becomes a desirable. So the symbol of fur. I guess luxury brands using fur have this long-seated psychology of human, of this fur wearing, right? It's some sort of luxury and it's something desirable. So this desire symbol got abstracted like that. So desire and holding something in hand together combined means safe. So I guess it's somebody you care about, you want to save from a disaster or trouble situation, and you have to take things into your own hand to handle it. So this hand holding something means you're handling things, and because 求 means something desire or pursue, something that's you have the motive to do that, to do somebody a favor, to save somebody, right? So surround, wait, and then in order to save Zhao, the story goes like this. Okay, we have Zhao, Wei, and Qi, and some other regimes. At least there are 7 of them back then, 2,000 years ago. So Qi, here, we're talking about Qi as the subject who is deploying this 围魏救赵 strategy, because Zhao, you see this track means they go attack, Wei, they go attack Zhao. And Zhao was seeking help, support from Qi. So what Qi did, instead of going to Zhao to have a direct combat with Wei, they going instead to the Wei's location or capital and to attack their people, because their majority of the army already on the front line in Zhao. So they don't really have a good defense. That's their weak point at that time. So instead of going the direct route, they go to the capital of the enemy. And then so when Wei realized, wow, that's danger, they have to head back to save their own people. They had a battle over here. So Wei and Qi had a battle over here. So regardless of what's going on in that battle, Zhao then at the moment was relieved, because the Wei's army had to return back to save their own domain or turf. So this is a classical 围魏救赵. It's so classical, it formed into the language. So basically the thinking, the logic there is, instead of, okay, so there are two situations. Instead of waiting for your enemy to unify, to put all the forces in one location, you'd rather split their forces, kind of each, like at least a half or something like that. It's not 100%, at least 37 or some kind of a ratio. Any one portion is weaker than the 100% together, right? So the strategy 1 is look for separate them, ways to separate them. So you can go for whatever size you can take, right? And then that's one. The second one is, instead of attacking the enemy in their strongest, so between 30 and 7, instead of going for 7, you attack the 30%. So going for the like under-guarded, under-resourced location or force units of your enemy, instead of going for the stronger one. So that strategy make your enemy kind of weaken your enemy gradually, instead of losing a lot of your people by involving a direct combat with their 100% or even 70% of forces. Go for the 30%. I hope this makes things easy. So that's our 围魏救赵. Catch into the courtesy of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.